Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, today we'll be talking about the trailer for Nagoriyuki in Guilty Gear Strive, the Cyber Samurai Man. So it's been about a year since he was originally shown off, and now we finally have a trailer to work with, and we also have some details outside of the trailer that put a lot of the trailer into context. I initially saw some worry from this trailer as Nagoriyuki, big samurai man, and then hey, well, if there's already samurai deconfirmed, right? No Baiken in the game. And well, I think Baiken will be fine. However, I do think Nagoriyuki does kind of deconfirm another character, and that is Slayer. From the official site, we now know that Nagoriyuki is a vampire. And yeah, there is a vampire in Guilty Gear already, Slayer, and a lot of the moves kind of match up when you think about it. So now let's break down that trailer. So the trailer kind of opens up here, Nagoriyuki in the snow, kind of a samurai pose. By the way, Nagoriyuki translates to remnant snow for whatever that's worth, and gets up here, that's cool, but then all of a sudden, yo, this weird mask comes into being, and it might be a big part of him being a vampire. Our first bit of gameplay here gives a pretty good insight to what kind of character he is off the bat, as he seems to be a bit larger than the other characters, and his moves are obviously a lot larger than a lot of other characters have to offer, as they eat up a giant chunk of the screen. So he does 3 hits here. It may be a Rekka series in that each move is its own command, and it does give us a knockdown on hit. From that point, we get this little aerial exchange. It might be simple as he's doing slash into heavy slash in the air, but still, as we can see, those normals are very big and probably will eat up a giant chunk of the screen with their hitboxes. Now, here is where being a vampire comes into play, and if you're a Slayer fan, you might start getting worried. So he kind of rips into the opponent's neck here with his mask. You know, it has a big bite, and well, let's look at Slayer's. So Slayer has that exact kind of move, and for Slayer it is a command grab, and if we do a side-by-side here, you will notice the animations are similar and the hit spark is basically exactly the same. The only real difference here is Nagoriyuki knocks them down while Slayer leaves them standing. So that's strike 1 against Slayer, and we'll have another in a moment, but here, this series here looks like another Rekka series, and also, that red on his sword, if we do it super slow-mo, is indeed blood. So after this first hit, the animation cancels into the second hit, which makes me think it's a Rekka, and you can see, nice big red sword, right? And then we get another downward slash, and he enters this pose. Now, it's either like a cool little pose after my move is done, or it may be a stance, and there is some evidence to suggest he might have stances a little bit later on. And here's the other big knock against Slayer potentially being in the game, is these are his dashes. Nagoriyuki does not have a run, it would seem, like other characters in this game. He has a dash, and it's a teleport dash, and who else has a teleport dash? Well, hey, Slayer does, right? So backdash and forward dash are teleports, and it seems Nagoriyuki has it as well. And if he has the Slayer dash and the command grab, well, Slayer's chances are not great. This sequence is very fun because it looks like Nagoriyuki, on top of being a big boy with big normals, is also a tricky boy. So after special canceling normal here, enters a stance, and wouldn't you know, there's 2 of them real quick. One hits low, but there's the other one that's waiting. So this move to me reads as can mix up. Either going to go for like the overhead or the low, and you have to visually tell which clone's going to do which. This next thing is interesting here. So he does teleport backdash and smacks the foe here, you know, kind of a counter poke kind of deal. Haha, baited you out. But there's that red flash of blood going into the mask. Now, there's a couple options here. Either it's purely cosmetic, while cool is a little dull, or it could be a healing mechanic similar to like Ragna the Blood Edge in Blaze Blue, or it could be feeding into a special meter or something like that that he might have, a unique mechanic. We do have something to point towards that as well. Here he is looking all stoic and cool, all samurai-like, and I'm assuming this is one of his super moves, as it is very big and very flashy, as you can see. And here's the big mystery of the trailer as far as I'm concerned. So he breaks the mask off, no more mask, and his sword is now all the way red. And as we went over, the red's definitely blood, as we can see trails of blood when we slow stuff down. So what's this all about? So this looks like a stance at the very least, right? So he's using his all red saber here, all blood saber, and has a move that looks like it travels basically the length of the screen. So can you do this state whenever? Is it that only if you collect so much blood can you enter this state and have your sword all blooded out? Don't know. Looks like it might cost some of your tension at the very least, maybe? But it's interesting. It definitely looks like a stance, and I don't think you can do it forever, but while you're in this stance, considering the flash of that move there, I'm just assuming you're going to own a lot of the screen while you're in it. And that's Nagoriyuki and everything we know about him so far to date. We'll know more in the future, I'm sure. But as it stands, you know, we had to wait a year for this character to have any kind of glimpse of what he can do. And honestly, hey, I'm pretty happy with it. So the big question is, does he replace Slayer, I guess? As he has a lot of Slayer's iconic stuff. And I simply don't think there's room enough in the game for two vampires that share the same moves. Guilty Gear characters tend to be a little bit more original than that. But yeah, as it stands, new characters is always one of the hardest things because either they're awesome or they're flops in any given fighting game. And I gotta say, this dude's awesome. Big old coat, weird cyber demon mask, vampire samurai. Hey, thumbs up in my books. And that is it for this breakdown. So hey, let me know what you think of this character in the comments below. And other than that, my friends, that's the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Guilty Gear.